Listen closely, for the elders say that every story carries a lesson, and every lesson carries wisdom. Long ago, in a quiet village surrounded by tall palm trees and red earth roads, there lived a people whose peace would soon be tested by a choice no one saw coming. Scene 1. The peaceful village with hidden doubt. The village was peaceful. Farmers worked in their fields from sunrise to sunset. Children ran freely through the village square, and every evening beneath the great tree, the elders gathered to share wisdom. But beneath that peace, not every heart was at rest. Among the villagers lived a farmer named Ade. Ade was hard-working, but never satisfied. No matter how much he harvested, it was never enough. Yet Ade was not the only one the villagers spoke about in quiet voices. There was Bode, the trader, a man who always asked strange questions about people's farms, their harvests, and their wealth. There was Mama Sade, whose warnings often carried fear. She spoke of dangers no one could see, and many believed she worried too much. And there was Ganiyu, the quiet hunter, who disappeared into the forest for days and returned at odd hours, sometimes with nothing. At night, when the wind moved through the trees, whispers passed between the villagers. Who could be trusted? No one knew, and no one suspected that the greatest danger was already growing among them. Scene 2. The strange visitor. One evening, as the sun disappeared behind the hills, a stranger arrived. His cloak was dark like the night sky, his presence calm but unsettling. The villagers watched him carefully. Even Bode, the trader, kept his distance. Even Ganiyu, the hunter, observed him in silence, but the stranger did not speak to them. He walked straight to Ade. "I can make you richer than anyone in this village." Ade's heart began to race. "Tell me how," he said quickly. The stranger leaned closer. "Sell me something from your village, something the people will never notice." Ade paused. Then he made a terrible mistake. "The village shadow," he said. "No one needs shadows." The stranger smiled. "Very well." And just like that, the deal was made. Scene 3. The first sign. The next morning, something was wrong. The sun rose as it always did, but the village felt different. The trees cast no shadows. The huts cast no shadows. Even the people had no shadows beneath their feet. Fear spread quickly. The villagers began to whisper. Could it be Mama Sade's warnings? Is this the work of the forest? Or is someone among us responsible? Mama Sade shook her head slowly. A closed eye cannot see the danger before it arrives. But still, no one knew the truth. Scene 4. The discovery. Later that day, a young boy named Tunde noticed something strange. Ade still had a shadow. Tunde's heart pounded. He ran to Baba Ayo, the elder. "Baba Ayo," he cried, "Ade still has a shadow, while the rest of us do not." The elder's face grew serious. Sometimes the smallest eyes see the biggest truths. He stood and called the villagers together. Scene 5. The truth revealed. The villagers gathered beneath the great tree. All eyes turned to Ade. Fear gripped him. At last, he spoke. "I only wanted to be rich," he said. "I sold the village shadow to a stranger." The villagers gasped. Bode stepped back in shock. Ganiyu clenched his fists in silence. All along, they had suspected one another,
But the truth had been closer than they imagined. Baba Ayo stepped forward. A man who trades the peace of his people for gold will soon discover that gold cannot protect him. Scene 6. The consequence. That night, the stranger returned. Without shadows, the village became colder, darker. Crops began to fail. Animals avoided the land. The villagers begged, "Please return our shadows." But the stranger replied calmly, "A deal is a deal." Then Baba Ayo spoke. "The tree that listens to the wind never breaks." He turned to Ade. "Only the one who made the deal can undo it." Scene 7. The sacrifice. Ashamed and broken, Ade stepped forward. He knelt before the stranger. "Take everything," he said, "my land, my harvest, my wealth. Just return the village shadow." The stranger watched him silently. Then, finally, he agreed. With a wave of his hand, the shadows returned. The village was saved. But Ade lost everything. Ending lesson. Years later, Ade became a humble farmer. He worked